Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the #1 podcast recorded in Columbus, Ohio, with ramen in the title, The Ramen Room. This is Randall, and I have with me, as usual, Hassan.
Hey, what's up? How you doing? I like that intro, man. All right.
Take any claim to fame I can get. And as a special treat, we have our man, the anime aficionado, Benny.
How's it going, guys? Good to be back.
Look at the energy. I love it. Good to have you back, man.
Good to be back.
Yeah, we got a good show for you guys today. It's History in Effect.
Yes, it is.
The well-beloved series. We kind of cover a topic, just one particular topic, a little more than usual. And so this week, we're going to be talking movies. We're going to be talking about superhero movies. Particularly...
what's the condition? Yeah.
Well, so a couple weeks ago, I was watching TV, and Ghost Rider was on. And then next on TV was Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer. And I realized that in 1 year, we got Ghost Rider, Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, and Spider-Man 3.
In 1 year?
In 1 year.
Now, out of all those movies, does anybody give a shit about them anymore like this?
Like, no, I forgot how terrible. You know what? Rewatching it, Ghost Rider actually was just bland. It wasn't
Nicolas
as
Cage,
awesome.
man.
Let me tell you something.
Huh?
I watched between that and I watched. I saw some of X-Men 3 today. The CG does not hold up.
Yeah, definitely not good.
It is awful. So we are going to be ranking our movies.
It doesn't hold up.
Our sort of proto superhero movies, pre MCU.
Yeah, we have to jump into this thing.
You know, no Nolan, because that's going to make it top heavy.
Mm.
And we're going to do it after a lot of the campier stuff, like that old Captain America and Japanese Spider-Man show. So we're kind of hedging late '90s, early 2000s. We got your black spandex, we got your punk rock, your Limp Bizkit.
Okay.
All right.
Get ready.
All right.
So we're starting worst to best.
Worst to best. Man, it got quiet.
Okay, well, let's. I mean, to throw out some of the movies that came out.
Yep.
What I think would probably be towards that bottom. Elektra, in 2005. Jennifer Garner.
I agree.
You think that's okay? Well, here's.
I don't think that's the bottom, but
Here are the contenders. Look at the list. Contenders. We have X-Men 3, Hulk, the Ang Lee, the really slow one.
Oh man.
Catwoman, Elektra, Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, Spider-Man 3, Ghost Rider. Well, probably the ones out of the list I think would.
How about that daggone Catwoman game for Xbox?
Did you?
Saw Halle Berry, man. He's like,
that's the only reason why I watched that movie. I was like, well,
I would give it to Catwoman, but I kind of imagined that movie was gonna be bad because I was just like, what is Halle Berry doing? As
right, like you kind of knew, kind of expected. I mean, but Elektra though, it was. I mean, that was a spinoff of like a already bad movie. What I mean, what say you? What say you, Hassan?
Catwoman was alright, man. Hey,
friend of the show, Halle Berry. Love here.
Like the outfit. You know, I really didn't like the whole premise. Of the makeup bad guy. The more facial cream and
hell yeah,
the stronger she got. I'm like, shit, that is the worst I've ever seen.
You're not filling me with confidence here.
Other than that, man, it was a good movie.
Other than everything about it, okay, I say we put it as our worst.
Catwoman
is getting bottom of the barrel.
Oh man, I don't know about that. How about Ghost Rider 1 or 2? You pick.
See, I feel like Ghost Rider is better than Catwoman. Ghost Rider
better than Catwoman.
Yeah, like
I have to go. Yeah, Ghost Rider is better than Catwoman.
Yeah, like I was saying, Ghost Rider. It was very. I don't want to say bland. It wasn't anything to write home about as far as movies go, but it wasn't exceptionally bad. Like Catwoman didn't it get like Razzies? Like it was.
Yeah, it was down there.
It was down there.
Plus, I think Ghost Rider, it just the villain sucked, which is traditional of Marvel. Right. But I feel like you saw the potential there. Like they did this Flaming Skull great. I thought.
Yeah, like, especially for the time, and I did want to keep that in mind. Context of how it went at the time, because like I said, a lot of this stuff doesn't really hold up now. But I would say Ghost Rider, they did that all right. There was a scene he was in jail and he beat up a guy and took his leather jacket, even though he was already wearing one. So there's a lot of nonsense like that going around. But I still think that's better than Catwoman. Wasn't she like drinking milk out of a bowl at one point? Like,
yes, she was.
Selena, get it together.
Come on, man. Why are we? You already know that Catwoman was good. You know that. What's next?
So okay, I say we put Catwoman in the bottom of the barrel.
Oh, Lord.
Does that mean we slot Elektra in next?
Actually, out of that list, about Blade 3.
Blade 3 was awful.
Yeah, that's pretty
good. There were a lot of problems.
Ryan Reynolds just, I was like, okay.
I mean, that line they said to pitch it, I never forgot. I am 31 years old, guys. And when that movie came out, they were like, what did they say? He's fought the, it was the dumbest tag. He's fought their gods. He's fought their demons. Now he fights the first one.
Oh yeah,
I do remember that. Yeah.
And what makes it bad about Blade 3 is the premise, like on its face, sounds really good. It's Blade versus Dracula, right? Like it's right. Blade versus like the most famous vampire you could think of.
Who played Dracula? Was it Batista or something like
that? Yeah, it sounds familiar. Let me grab that. Actually, I guess you can vamp while I look that up.
It is one of those ones where the third movie just sucks. I don't know what it is.
With thirds, I don't know why.
3, yeah.
X-Men 3.
Terrible.
People, and this isn't part of the list, but people give The Dark Knight Rises a lot of crap. I thought it was okay as a movie. Rewatching it, I can see some of the flaws of it, but
it didn't hold up to 2.
That's honestly probably its biggest fault is that it's not 2. It wasn't The Dark Knight.
Yeah, I mean, but that's. He said we weren't going to talk about Nolan. I don't know why we brought that. Why did I bring? I was talking about Batman Forever.
Nah, that's Batman and Robin, man. That's what would be my bottom list. Joe Schumacher, man.
Bro, when they
bat nipples, man. That's all you need to know.
Chill out. When they kicked their heels together, got ice skates. I was done. I was done with that movie.
Silverstone,
man,
Batgirl.
Oh man, yeah.
They had sweet costume. I like this silver and black.
My first scene of it actually is when they were, even though it didn't make any sense, when they was on a kind of like gliding from the thing, like surfboards.
Yeah,
I thought it was the coolest thing in the world as a kid.
I did like that, and I like the design of the Batmobile in the movies. I always thought that was pretty cool.
It was like real long.
Yeah, it was just really well, like lit up. Like it was kind of interesting. It was.
Was Bane in that one? Because I did like Bane when they had him.
Bane in that.
Yeah, Bane. Because that was Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, and Bane.
Okay, because remember Bane was huge though. Yeah. I thought they did good with the way he looked.
They did the Venom with him and everything, and because he really
you know, George Clooney knocked it out the ballpark, so you know, probably looking at that.
George Clooney was Batman. Just explain, man.
But what about old dude that played 3? Like Kilmer?
Val Kilmer was before him.
Then Michael Keaton.
Yeah, it was Michael Keaton. It was Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, then George Clooney. Yeah, and then
Christian Bale, because he ended it. Yeah. You didn't see Batman for like 10 years.
So I mean, I'm gonna have to agree. Y'all was putting Catwoman under the bus.
So then, if we're putting Catwoman at the bottom of the barrel, then I guess are we putting Blade 3 then? For the crime of not living up to his potential and just being all around. There was a scene, I think it was Blade 3, I'm like 90% sure, where like Blade is captured. And maybe I'm just the weird one who noticed this, and maybe I'll edit this out, but there was a scene like they like gave him his like inhaler or whatever, and he like broke through, and the way the camera panned down, they just showed his body, and I swear this dude had a boner. Like, I was just like, what are we watching right now? Like,
kind of inhaler, man.
The camera was just right there.
Didn't look right.
Right, Ryan Reynolds was funny in the movie.
I like how you switched the conversation.
Hey, listen, I'm not going down as the Blade crotch guy. Because Blade 3 was not good.
No, it wasn't. I mean, Blade 2 wasn't that good neither. I mean,
whoa, hang on a second. Hang on.
I like Blade 2.
Yeah, I'll say Blade 2 was actually pretty good.
It probably wasn't.
I felt the only thing I don't like about Blade 2 was the vampires died a lot easier than it did in Blade 1. Like, it took one silver bullet to the arm and they blew up.
Blade 1 was that deal. Blade 2 was like, okay, Blade 3 was like, all right, y'all need to
Okay,
tried.
so if we're
I ain't like the demon concept. I ain't like the way they look. I just didn't get it.
What, talk about Blade 3?
Blade 2.
Blade 2? Well,
I kind of like the idea of something hunting vampires, another monster.
I would say I like that.
And honestly, for me, even though the CG doesn't hold up today as well, I think they had some good fight scenes. I think the one when he fought the ninjas against the backlight, and it was just black.
Worst CG scene.
It was kind of bad, but there's some highlights to it, like when he fought the last guy at the end, when he threw his hand up.
Yeah, that scene in the sewer when he was sitting there and he's pulling off that like giant UV grenade bomb.
Then you gotta drop that kind of.
Yeah, and that vampire princess, she was kind of cute, you know. So
yeah, she's like.
Yeah, she's like. But I'm pushing that up the list. Blade 3, I think, belongs probably. I don't know. Let's see. But would you put Blade 3 beneath or above Elektra, Biddy?
I'll put it above. Cause I don't think Elektra needed her own movie.
Yeah. So I feel like it's safe to put Catwoman, Elektra. Then we're getting to possibly Blade 3.
Batman, Robin.
Did you want to put the Batman there?
Oh yeah, they're in the basement, man.
Then to me, Batman and Robin is probably, honestly, I put that worse than Catwoman, because Catwoman was terrible, but Batman and Robin was just a farce. Like that was just
the moment I saw Robin get frozen in the beginning of the movie, and that ice was. It looked like that boner you saw about that.
Was that the one where Batman pulled out like his Batman American Express card?
Like, it was
awful. Like, what were you thinking? Like, and then we had that computer scene where
silence on that piss poor ass movie.
Okay, so then Batman and Robin, bottom, Catwoman, Blade or Elektra.
I don't know, man, because I want to kind of throw in the Hulk.
Oh yeah, the Hulk, because that movie was so boring.
Man, that was the worst.
That was awful.
Before we even got, once we got to the Hulk part, I could deal with the jets and the jumping, and I'm like, okay, I could do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But 95% of the movie wasn't that.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, so then
him throwing that tank around was sweet, jumping around, but
that was.
It was like the worst way to do a Hulk.
Longest movie that I had to sit through with the person that I came to see on my shirt. Wee!
He took that off.
Teeth gritting. I hate this movie. Yeah,
that was the origin of Hassan being a Superman fan.
Oh no, it came before that, man. I just came there to support. Superman, he loved kids.
So we have Batman and Robin, Catwoman, Hulk,
right?
Ang Lee's Hulk. And then we're gonna put Elektra.
No, we gotta put Hulk above Elektra though. Elektra or Hulk over Elektra?
Elektra wasn't bad.
Oh,
who's her villain in Elektra?
The Hand.
All right, they're a good villain.
Niggas with drug connections. Yeah.
The only thing I remember
was worse than that. Bullseye was dope, but Ben Affleck was terrible.
He was. Mm-hmm. The only thing I even remember from Elektra was her when she was getting brought back to life. Mm-hmm. Her and that other ninja, that girl or whatever. But that's about it. I find with either way, whichever if you guys want to put Hulk beneath Elektra or.
Yeah, all right, let's just do Elektra or Hulk Elektra.
Hulk, Elektra. Then we're getting into
Blade 3.
Blade 3. Yeah, you think Blade 3 is worse than Duststorm Galactus, Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, or AKA Dig on This, Emo, Peter Parker, the Jazz Club? No.
Jazz Club.
I was like, why? Why?
I remember in the movie they were just looking like, what the hell are we watching, man? Because I always harken back to like the animated cartoon scene. Like, y'all remember the cartoon when he had the symbiote and he did like this cool thing when he did a triple axle flip and then, like just walked and changed into a suit. I'm like, oh, this is what we're about to get. Right. He's about to be able to change the clothes. He came out dancing. It's like, all right.
He was in a suit, standing on the side of the building, like normal. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, that's sweet, man. That gonna symbiote suit can do a lot of shit.
Yeah,
but he just got a lot of mood swings in Spider-Man 3. Well, we had one too many villains from Sandman.
Yeah. But yeah, Spider-Man 3 was a clear case of executive meddling. Just Sandman by himself would have been a good enough arc. If you want to do Harry as kind of a smaller side arc that's pushed on, further, that's fine.
It was a clear case of executive meddling.
Yeah, well, the big thing was Sony wanted Venom in that movie, and they slapped Venom in there. And Venom deserves his own movie in and of itself. And so we had Peter Parker get the symbiote suit, go up against Sandman, lose the symbiote suit, Venom get created, go up against Harry, have that issue with Harry, break up with MJ, defeat Venom with Harry, then defeat Sandman with Harry, and lose Harry. It was ridiculous.
And they find out Sandman's the one that shot Uncle Ben.
Yeah, that was first of all,
it was just somewhat.
It was so bloated. It was ridiculous. But I think I would still put it above probably Blade Trinity and Fantastic Four. I think it was a bad movie, but I think it was.
I would say the second one, I liked it. One when they all got the powers, but also like what Dr. Doom was doing in the second one. I thought it looked pretty sweet.
I remember having like a long.
The board shit, but...
I had a long argument with people about Dr. Doom in the second one. They thought he was too powerful, that he took the Silver Surfer's powers, which he did in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest, I think, the downside about 2 to me was, one, Mr. Fantastic's dancing scene in the club. I don't know why there was a year. 2 movies with superheroes dancing in a club. And 2, the whole thing with Galactus. Like, that was ridiculous. Yeah, Dust Cloud.
Dust Cloud seemed to be like the go-to thing. I mean, not to get away from what the theme is for the show. I mean, but they did it in Strange.
I was scared they were going to do that with Dormammu. Like, I would assume, Marvel Studios has more sense than that. But the way it was set up, I was scared that they were going to be like, oh, we're not going to show him. We're going to keep him mysterious. Like, no, just make him look like how he looks. He looks a little ridiculous, but we accept that going in because it's a comic book movie.
Yeah.
They did it in the Green Lantern.
We got a rock guy walking around. What's the...
Well, go ahead.
Well, I was about to say, even just going back to what you said about Galactus, like, I was, mad that he was just a cloud, too. Right. But I will say, I think the reason I was more forgiving is because Doom was such a good villain. That's true. Because, like I said, they don't have many good villains, but when he took the Silver Surfer's board, I'm like, all right, dude.
Yeah, and I like the guy who...
I was a little mad that fire hydrant and some hot air took you out the first one, but...
That was a dumb... that was some corny Fantastic Four stuff. You know what? The fact that you pointed that out, I think we should bump up Silver Surfer. I think he gets a little bad rap. We're going to bump that up, Spider-Man up. Blade. I think Blade takes this next spot. Right. There was really not a lot of redeeming qualities in that movie. Mm-hmm. Working our way up, I would probably say, let's see. This is where we're probably going to get into closer territory. Some
good ones.
X-Men Last Stand... It was just a lot like that whole scene with the Juggernaut.
X-Men Last Straw.
It should be all the 3 movies coming up now.
Yeah. That's what it feels like. Because X-Men, I was mad because I was so excited when that trailer came out. You saw the Sentinel head. You were like, oh, there's going to be Sentinels in the movie. And it was just a danger room. And it was the movie, and I get kind of what they were going for, but it just, I don't know. It felt like it didn't.
Talk about executive meddling. They did that a lot. I mean, because, a lot of, I wouldn't say the executives was meddling in that one too much. Yeah. I think the actors were demanding too much in that one. I mean, Storm, for her to be in the movie, she had like a contract that was higher than most people. Like, it's like, she didn't even do shit. I mean,
she got a haircut at least.
I hated that damn bob, man. Hated that bob and her hairstyle. I hated it. She had the little Tina Turner.
Yeah.
So, get the shit out of my face. Now, I ain't like emo Bobby Drake.
No. And the whole thing with him and Shadowcat and like
it's like,
it made Rogue take a real back seat to in that relationship. And then to your point with Phoenix, not to cut you off or anything, but I remember having an argument with my friends about that movie because they felt the whole thing with Phoenix and it being focused so much on Logan specifically. It was obviously, more of a movie move than an actual story move.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I would like if they didn't have the Phoenix following Magneto around. I thought that was a weak part. Because it would have been like Magneto's doing his own thing, the X-Men's trying to do their own thing, and then Phoenix just causing chaos.
Right.
That would have been a lot better.
Yeah, I think that would have been better than
her in the woods with Magneto.
Right. Yeah, just kind of hanging out with Lip Ring Mutant and...
and Magnus was doing some shit in that one. Mm-hmm. Like he always does, but that whole thing, that bridge scene, like...
That was one of the redeeming things of it, was seeing Magneto actually use his powers to that extent. Like, that was like Magneto, in full effect. Throwing cars at people, just like metals everywhere.
Yeah,
I'm going in.
I mean, that boy was. I mean, and if I was a mutant, I'd be like, yo, Magnus, what we doing?
Yeah, right. Crossing this bridge. All right.
Yeah, it's on to go. I mean, because he picked up the whole bridge and was just like, let's roll up. I mean, they were trying to take the powers away for good. Like, so he hit the cars,
which
them.
Again is a good premise. You get, brother. It's what Magneto's been talking about. Mm-hmm. His nightmare come true. It creates a desperate situation for the mutants, and you get kind of that divide in the community of which side are they really dealing with, but. They just didn't handle it. And I think, like you said, either the Phoenix should have been like a separate agent that came in to cause chaos, or they just shouldn't have done the Phoenix.
Made her the fourth movie.
They definitely shouldn't have done it because, I mean, I think Beast was a good.
Yeah.
He did his thing.
Yeah.
Which, sure.
It was just fun. It was just, as a quick aside, it's just funny when, because I was watching that movie and it made me think about how messed up the X-Men timeline is, because they obviously didn't plan ahead, because, like, they have, it's all supposed to be one timeline. You have Days of Future Past. Beast is Beast. X-Men 2, Hank McCoy makes a cameo. He's human. X-Men 3, he's talking to Wolverine like they don't even know each other, and he's already Beast Mode. It just was, a lot of stuff. It's a mess. That's why Days of Future Past, I guess, is their hand wave to clean all that up and make a new timeline.
Yeah. Plus, even a third one, they killed Charles Xavier.
Like,
I don't care what you say, he put into himself in another body. If you look at the timelines, like you put yourself in another body, but then you're still Charles Xavier. Right. Days of Future Past. Like we're gonna ignore it, but how's that working out?
They killed off Cyclops immediately.
Yeah.
It's like, God damn.
Cyclops. They did Cyclops dirty. Like,
I thought he was coming back. I wasn't worried.
It was also because they killed him off in a weird way. Like he was just kind of there, and then he kind of was just, his visor was floating, and it was odd the way they decided to kill him.
And the way they did it was because the actor went to Superman Returns.
We're gonna get to that one. Get to your movie, boy.
Yeah. Classic. Disappointment. Go ahead.
So are we saying? So would you say? So I guess we're saying we would rate X-Men 3 below Silver Surfer, right?
I don't know. Because at this point, I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, we're ranking them now,
right?
But I had a lot of like subtle disappointment when I saw it. It wasn't like
X-Men 3
for a lot of these movies. I didn't see. I know that Twan and all them, I think you might have went a couple times to go see like shit like Ghost Rider. Like I didn't see it in theaters like those two. I wasn't interested in the lore. I really don't care about Ghost Rider. I mean, he alright, he cool. I mean, I respect him, but I just don't dig him like that. But I mean, even seeing y'all's faces, like it wasn't what we thought.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, I just I didn't look at it as terrible. Like it was only a few like X-Men 3, like you said, Phoenix. That whole thing was stupid. X-Men 2 had some stupid shit in it. I mean, it was just
but I mean, to me, there's a difference between things that are dumb because it's either just the movie or just the product of the time, and then dumb because it's just bad. Like because like there are dumb things in X-Men 2 or even in some like one of my favorites on the list, Spider-Man 2, but. Like X-Men 3 was just not well executed in my opinion.
Yeah, you're just saying what you
said. Bryan Singer was on Superman, and they had a new director on this one on 3.
Yeah, because 3 was Brett Ratner, if I remember correctly. Like that was another problem.
That Angel, and he's like, I don't want to lose my wings.
Jump
out the window.
I'm gonna bust through the window and just.
Yeah, there were a lot of.
You won't see me to the end.
that was I was going to say like it was weird for him to be there, and then it's his family's centrally involved, but he kind of isn't really there until he said to the end.
Yeah, but it's also I think harking back to. Like you said, the second movies prior to that were so good that your expectation were higher. Spider-Man 2 was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Then you're like, wait, y'all going to put Venom in? And y'all already got 2 out the ballpark? All right, let's see what they're going to do. X-Men 2. Phoenix at the end? Is she going to be in the third one? Oh, shit.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, you were excited.
And you get in there and she's in the woods, like... All right.
Yeah, because I remember when that trailer came out, we were joking about how it seemed like there was so much in X-Men 3. We're like, they got Sentinels, they got everything going on. So you thought, this is going to be perfect. And then you see it, and you're just like, that's it. That's what you did with this?
Right. It was like...
it felt like there was a lot, but there really wasn't a lot of going on there. I don't know. It wasn't like, it wasn't... I think I would probably put that below Silver Surfer.
Yeah, and that's the only thing because they had the potential to make a good movie because the prior one. So when this one faltered, it's just like, all right, like you said, you can look over some of it, but then you're just like, man, y'all could have knocked out the ball.
I think what was happening back then, especially, was the
executive meddling.
Yeah, because I mean, all across like chat rooms and blogs and people's kitchens. wherever he was at, the basement, the comic book shops. Everybody knew, especially if you got into comic books, that they have nothing but tons and tons of material that they can pull from that they don't have to change to try to get people to get into a particular character. Mm-hmm. They don't have to do anything. They could just say, we're going to do, Apocalypse Now and be done. Like, we're going to read every panel and then make it a movie, But they start adding all these... My name is Halle Berry, and I command $30 million a movie. So you better put me in there.
that was one thing I think is interesting, and why that was interesting to do this era, because this era was a lot of that. It was, let's bring in a big star name. Mm-hmm. Let's get everybody in leather. Let's get them in black. We don't want to make it too comic booky. We want to make it look like an action movie that just happens to have some comic book names. Like, they were really trying to disguise and make it more like a proper Hollywood movie as opposed to what they do now in both the DCU and the
Embrace
MCU.
It. Yeah,
where they kind of just
it made sense especially for Marvel, because they around that time, and even going forward, they've tried to adopt that whole realism superhero type. Like in DC, they still had capes. Like they was like, we wear capes here. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Marvel was like, we wear jeans and a t-shirt. So when they so it kind of made sense when they went to the whole leather.
Right, which I mean, at the time you could make the justification because you want to make it grounded. You want it to be like, this is what it would look like if this were happening in our real world. You wouldn't see people in bright blue and yellow, running around.
You wouldn't. I mean, you definitely wouldn't have done that. No.
but it's funny now because people want that. Like, people are still clamoring for Logan to be put in his blue and yellow spandex.
It'd be sweet to see,
right? Like, it's just kind of like after seeing it play out as we see now, we're like, I think it would work.
Mm-hmm. So, be that you brought that up, are we able to talk about the Wolverine movie in this list?
Origin?
Wolverine. It's outside of the time frame. Well, if you want, we can vote in because that movie was.
God,
we can.
That's the first one.
If we're talking about terrible, then
Origin's the worst out of all of them. Origins, Wolverine Origins.
Man, that was bad. Like,
I don't know. Is that the one where they had Gambit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Deadpool.
That was another one that going into it, you thought it was gonna be kind of sweet because they had Deadpool, they had Weapon X, so they had Gambit, they had Deadpool, and the Ryan Reynolds scene with the swords and the guns. You're like, okay, Deadpool was talking, and you're like, okay, this is gonna be good,
right?
And then that was it. Like, after that beginning of that movie, it was shit. And the thing was, like, I love the intro where, like, you see, because they, up to that point, I don't know that his bone claws are really common knowledge, or it wasn't known as widely that he had the bone claws.
Right.
And to see him do that, and then see him and Sabretooth go through the different wars, I thought was really cool.
It was really,
Mm-hmm. And then it got so terrible. Now, it didn't help that the movie leaked. Like, I saw it when it leaked, like the unfinished CGI version of it. So that really.
So when they did the Cyclops beam, you didn't see the beams?
No, the beams, but I don't. They were there, but I don't think they were centered correctly. Like, it was weird. Like, when he shot the building, I don't think it was correct.
Mm-hmm.
The planes were like all gray because they were like still like white box kind of style thing. Like, it was
some bad CG even when it was finished. Yeah. That whole helicopter scene, I'm like, oh my god.
Logan, that thing went like, it was hype, and then it went down quick. Even before it came out, like, people were trashing that movie.
Like Rotten Tomatoes, and they did not. But see, I mean, I know we went outside of our timeline, so you did forget, because before we even get into some more movies that we hate or dislike, I know we have like a little ranking system. Are you typing down a little ranking system? Are you putting?
I'm putting notes. I'm gonna try to rerun it to make sure I get the numbers right here.
Good. Okay, let's switch gears a little bit and talk about some of the movies that we did like.
Okay, well, we talked about my personal favorite as we get to if we were to go toward the top, mine would probably be. I
want like a middle ground. Like, we got the worst, now we got the best, now we got everything else.
My pick for best would probably be Spider-Man 2. Not just because I'm wearing a Spider-Man hoodie right now, but to me, it felt like watching like just a comic art come to life. You had everything. You had Peter, his crappy life. He's trying to juggle Spider-Man, and to me, they did such a tremendous job. Dr. Octopus wasn't like the perfect villain, but he was good. He was a good enough villain. He was a tragic villain, and it just felt like you peeked into a random day of Peter's life, a random comic arc. He just dropped right in. Like, I thought that was outstanding.
Mm-hmm. How you feel, Benny?
I agree. I thought Doc Octopus, he was a good villain at the time. Even now, like, I thought the fight scenes were something I didn't see at the time. Like, when he was falling off the building, he had Aunt May, and
Oh yeah, that was
in slow motion. The train scene. Yeah. Like, there were so many, like, up until that point, because when he fought Willem Dafoe in the first one, he had some good ones, but they were all, in place. You
right,
jump over
right.
things.
This was it was much more acrobatic. It was just it was.
He felt more like a Spider-Man, I guess.
Exactly.
So,
I'm gonna be a little bit different.
All right, go ahead.
I'm probably gonna go with Mad Men.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mad Men?
I said the wrong.
I'm like, wait a
minute. I was thinking about like, nigga,
Mad Men. I'm like, you talking about the AMC?
I was like,
you want to drink, man?
I'm gonna say Watchmen. I said it with such confidence too. Like, I mean, when I said I was like Mad Men. Yep, I fucked up.
So Watchmen, it's interesting you chose that because as far as I remember when it came out, that was kind of controversial. A lot of people either really liked it or they really hated that movie. Like they felt
the pacing was terrible. I mean, for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, but once you got into it, then it was like, okay.
Now I didn't read Watchmen the story. Do you think it captured the spirit of the comic fairly well? Or?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
I did. I mean, and then that's the thing. I think it was true to comic for me. I mean, for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, people were just getting off of that Spider-Man type style of movie and all that. You know what I mean? Where you're used to, I wouldn't say being spoon-fed. I mean, but Marvel has always been all about, jokes and whatnot. So when you're seeing Spider-Man, I mean, you see him swing through the city and all that, and he's really going up against a foe. And, you know what I mean? Like you can, people who saw that, they saw Spider-Man TAS.
Right.
People who saw Watchmen, if they didn't read the comic, they don't know shit
right
about Watchmen.
So it's like, this naked blue guy floating around.
What is this movie, bro? Watch it,
Yeah,
but I liked it because of that. I mean, the team itself. You got Dr. Manhattan. I mean, that dude, powerful.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean.
Right.
Like, so you see him. I just liked it. I thought it was. I thought it was great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's the best.
Yeah.
I mean, but if we had to pick one that you thought was like really good, Spider-Man 2 would definitely be there for me also.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not the Spider-Man 2 All Hail the Queen.
Well, I agree, but if I could say what my favorite one would be, it's actually Incredible Hulk. It came out right before the Iron Man did.
Yeah, you're right. You did.
But I really did like the Incredible Hulk because I feel like based off the Ang Lee one, which sucked, this one actually finally did the Hulk justice, and I liked Edward Norton as Banner.
He was actually. I did really like him. I was disappointed to hear he wouldn't join the MCU.
That movie where that dude he first got his enhancements.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he jumped off the helicopter and he's doing all this shit like jumping over shit. I'm like, oh, this dude dope. Then he got hit like.
When they hit that tree. Oh my Jesus.
One thing I really liked about The Incredible Hulk was the way they did his origin in the opening credits. Mm-hmm. So we didn't recap him getting hit with the Kema bomb, but they showed it to you so you got a sense of what it was without retreading something we already knew, which I wish more movies that were starting kind of took that into account, and tried that kind of that sort of style of origin explanation.
Mm-hmm. And even just going through, it had most of the same characters, the Thunderbolt Ross, which I thought was good. Abomination did his part, I think. Right. But I like that they showed him on a run, which goes back to the TV series, where his whole thing is just running from the law, where he was, where was he, like Brazil, just hanging out. And working on trying to get rid of the Hulk, which, I'm happy at the end he's like embraced it. But
the counter there to 319 days out of incident.
And I remember
his heart rate going up. It brought up the tension. You're like, oh shit.
I remember being as naive as I was at the time. I didn't know about the deals with Marvel and their properties, but I remember watching them getting those messages from Mr. Blue, and I was like, oh, is that Mr. Fantastic? Like, is that like a rep? And then at the end, to have Tony Stark show up and be like, hey, you're having a monster problem, like. That was incredible. Like,
they came out the same year, but I'm not for sure which was first.
Yeah, actually, now you mention it, because it would make sense for him to be
part of the he started MCU.
Yeah, for that to show up. But I remember, I'm not trying to remember actually which way it was.
I think it could have been Iron Man.
It had to be an Iron Man because it wouldn't make sense to see him at the end of Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, that's right. I think because then wasn't Iron Man like 2 of them then? That's right. It was 2 because Iron Man was that, and then it was the Avengers project when Sam Jackson showed up. That's what it was. That's what. But seeing that connection still between the two, you're like, oh, this
that's
is
what started it. Yeah,
you're like, this is it. Like, this is crazy. Like, I haven't seen that before. Mm-hmm. So yeah, definitely Incredible Hulk. Yeah, that one, the much better Hulk movie, got the Hulk right.
Hands down.
So let's talk about, because you said we're going to speak a little bit about it. Superman Returns.
All right, man. I was gonna wait till the muddled middle because that's here's the thing.
That's some parts. Yeah,
that movie gets a lot of crap. I was rewatching it recently. It's not that bad. It's just slow. It's weirdly slow. I actually like Brandon Routh as Superman, like his like when he saves those people from the plane, and he's kind of like, just make sure that to me feels more Superman than the Henry Cavill Superman they're using right now, which is sort of a nice kind of goofy, all shucks kind of guy. Mother's name is Martha. Right, but this one is more inspiring and kind of like unassuming.
I mean, I've always, I'll say it now, like I said before, I've always liked how they did Flight in that movie. Like, the Flight was
very good.
It's the best one, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's like, it'd be so quiet. Like, he'd be in Metropolis flying by. Like, you see the cape. And then he had that one scene. I mean, like, the small things that he did in there, you don't even see it in, like the TV shows today.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, you see it, like, for example, like a Supergirl, the TV show when she uses her heat ray or whatever.
Right.
It's just like full on heat ray, blue beam, whatever. Mm-hmm. But like in Superman Returns, like when they broke the glass,
and
he was flying, then he had to turn around and go backwards.
Yeah.
And then he had that wide scope laser, and it melted all the glass that hit it. I was like, oh, that's dope. Who came up with that?
I feel like if that movie had been just a Superman reboot instead of like a pseudo Superman, 5 or 4, continuation from the Christopher Reeve Superman, I think it would have been a little better off. They could have played a little more, had a little more room to work. Because there was the advantage, because the idea of Superman leaving and coming back is actually really interesting. They played it really weird that he was gone, came back, and everyone's like, oh, we love Superman again. Like if it had been kind of a mixture of that little DC, new DC, where it's like people were like, this dude left us and now he's back, we wouldn't want to deal with him. And him having to deal with that, I think, would have made up for a slightly better movie.
That and that son shit, they needed to take that. They shouldn't have not. I mean, because theoretically, I mean, if he's gonna have kids with some woman, I mean, his, kids, close your ears. His semen would have blew through a body.
Yeah, that's. I mean, hey, they're making it work in Rebirth, so. I liked Kevin Spacey's Lex Luthor for the most part, because
he got tired of Lex. Period. I mean,
that's mostly
that was my problem, because I was looking, like you said, going back to Flight. It was so amazing, and I'm like, man, I would love to see him go against somebody.
That makes me mad, because when that movie came out and then everything happened, I was the same thing. I was like, I want to see the Matrix Revolutions where Neo's fighting Agent Smith. I just want to see that with Superman.
Yeah.
And then they gave that to me, and I was like, oh wait, no, I don't want this, because it's ridiculous. Maybe they need to tone it down a little bit. If they'd have been able to get something, if they'd have taken Man of Steel action, but fit it more for Superman Returns, like style and tone, I think that would have been one of the
Superman
better movies.
He was majorly friendly, but see, people they get caught up on like a lot of dumb shit, like the Jesus connection with the flying, floating over the planet, the arms out. People went crazy there. Of course, too much Lex. I mean, the plan seems to be a tad bit too radical for me. To keep Superman from being here, we're going to create an island planet statement. Kryptonite's all in the. And he has no choice. It's like, that's a lot.
The crystal we got from his home. I'm like,
that's what's up. I mean, there again, they executed his powers in his struggle. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, when he was like above the planet doing that Jesus thing people talked about, and they shot that gun. You remember that? When they robbing somebody?
Yeah.
And then he his eyes opened up,
But that is such a cool expression of his abilities, of kind of like he's kind of chilling, and he's like when they were trying to distract him and they had that girl in the car and he's just listening and he hears it, and he just takes off, just
he's right there, and it did like.
Think.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of dumb, but
I thought it was dumb.
Yeah, get shot. Like if they're gonna show him being tough, like why get shot? I just. Seems dumb to me, but whatever.
It was dope. I mean,
I thought it was dope.
That was dope. I mean, it hit it just.
Yeah, the way they expressed the movie, I think would have worked very well as for a video game. Like you go up from the Earth and you look for like problems and you go fly back down to take care of it. I think, like I said, I think if they'd have kept it a little tighter in the pacing, and just a general better threat.
Better than that stupid crap about the sun. There again, the sun thing. You know what I mean? Like he's outside of Lois's crib. And...
That was creepy, man.
Yeah.
That was pretty.
Out of all the things you do, man, this is what you try to just sit here outside of my crib
When I was in space.
that's definitely gonna be middle for me.
Yeah, that's middle. One upon further review for me personally, toward the top of the middle. I don't think it's as bad as I thought it was in the past. It's definitely not as bad but it definitely it could have been a lot better.
I like to also just going back if you think of we talk about the flight and how everything looked and felt. Up until that point, there was nothing like that. Right, Superman 4, they definitely wasn't doing anything like that. So seeing him, like you said, hover up there and break the sound barrier going down, like you ain't never seen Superman do that.
You ain't seen it in X-Men either. I mean, I remember when Storm was flying in X-Men 2 or 1, whichever one it was.
Probably
she
one.
had that broke ass leg. I always look at the leg. That leg. It's like, what y'all gonna do with that leg, man? Do something with the leg. So I mean, like to see him doing like he's like really looking like the comics, arms crossed and his feet straight.
Yeah.
Then he picked up that daggone continent. I was like.
Man, I'm like, because people talk. I remember some people I talked to. They was like, impressed by Tony Stark when Iron Man first came out. How he was flying. I'm like, it's cool, it's nice, but Superman.
It just because I think because Superman, they did a good job of making it very stylized. It very much like because Iron Man was very much like a suit, like a machine flying. But Superman was a being, just elegantly, just kind of glide through the air. Like you said, it's quiet,
It's quiet. I mean, they executed the flight better in that than they did with the Henry Cavill.
It's shaky cam.
Yeah, like this one, he was just like, he was just flying like, and
it's,
like you said, Iron Man was like,
it was like they did a good job of making his realistic, like because he had the thrusters coming out different spots, but like you said, Superman was just more of a visual pleasure. Man, that said, they fumbled the ball because. That could have been something. That could have been the start of something for DC. I think they fumbled the ball on that one.
Yeah, they did.
But as you mentioned, just real quick as an aside, with the flight, it reminded me one of the problems I had with 3, and I think it's kind of a problem X-Men movies had in general because of the cast size and budgets. Like when you're watching 3, when they're having their big fight in front of like that Cure Center, there's like supposed to be a bunch of mutants there, and there's really just punches being thrown. There's no powers. You think through explosions and lights and everything, and it's just regular brawl. It's just throwing people like they're regular thugs in masks. Like. I think that. So I do give X-Men a handicap because I was going to mention one of my other top movies would be X-Men 2. Just because I remember that movie, just the scene with Nightcrawler in the White House alone in the beginning was
game
just
changer, man.
That was like
because my favorite character, one of my favorite characters in Marvel is Iceman.
Yeah,
and that scene where they were walking through the mansion, and it just got cold everywhere.
Yeah.
I was like,
because that whole mansion sequence was sweet when Wolverine just going to town on all those soldiers and
that was so. Then Cyclops came in. You did it,
okay. Everyone cheered in my audience. Yeah, when Colossus showed up, and he was just like, ching, 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 and everyone started cheering. Like it was.
He banged out.
Yeah,
but you still happy. You're like, all right, Colossus in there.
Steven was upset. That boy, because my friend Steven.
Yeah.
Shout out if you're hearing this, man. He had saw that big Colossus film, and he came out the door like, "Did you need anything, Xavier?" I was like, "No, I don't need anything." Okay, and that was it. I was like, "Damn." He don't get no more screen time than that. Surely.
Based on that and like Deadpool, Colossus must be expensive to pull off that look, I guess, because like they don't
put it expensive in Deadpool.
Well, I mean, but he was only there for like he had his big scenes, but like I don't know, like I said, I just
and the CG was different. I mean, they had like more of like a suit cast type thing for the Daredevil thing, but that was like all.
Yeah,
and you would think it'd be cheap.
Yeah,
if they could do it for the steel.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out. Other than maybe they just really wanted to focus on Logan, because I'm like, why would you send him away and never see him again?
Never see him again. Peter Peter Maximoff or something like that.
Yeah,
Rasputin. This one of them.
Yeah.
It's like why not? Like, the hell are you guys doing? Like, I mean, like he's.
But X-Men 2 was at its heart, and really the X-Men series was a Logan series. It was mostly about Logan.
First one, definitely. Yeah, I agree with that.
The second one, it became the Logan.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, the first one's about Logan and then finding Rogue and then going to the school and trying to fit in. I mean, the Logan is a character that they decided to ground the audience in.
That was their popular. Wolverine's a popular character.
Yeah, he's popular and he's the one that we're going to follow. We're going to be, okay, we're looking this through Logan's experiences.
I mean, I like seeing Cyclops. I mean, I like the relationship that Cyclops and Wolverine and Jean Grey had. I like that love triangle. You know what I mean? Like,
you're a Cyclops fan, aren't you? Right?
Cyclops is a beast.
That's actually weird. How mad are you about? as much love as we give the animated series, I feel like that turned a whole generation of people off of Cyclops. Like they made him look
like a little BS.
Yeah, like he was whacking that shit.
Wolverine made a convertible. I was like,
and drove off.
It's like, bruh. I think the thing about it is, what's so funny is, I mean, outright, maybe, Cyclops just can't beat, because of the healing factor.
Right.
But Cyclops is a hand-to-hand
dangerous,
genius.
man.
Dude's legit.
He could do the trick shots. Bouncing off of walls. That's a concussive blast.
Yeah, hyper beam.
He can handle Wolverine, but you wouldn't see that.
Yeah.
From the TAS.
No.
And damn sure from the movies.
Yeah.
But I would like to see him do it because I always felt like Cyclops is one of those characters where they couldn't flesh out his abilities because he's too strong on paper.
Yeah, like, he can't even cut people
in the first one, he didn't hit nobody.
Yeah.
He didn't hit nobody to the ricochet and hit Sabretooth out the Statue of Liberty.
Right.
In the second one, he did try to kill Jean, which I love that she blocked it because he carried her to the next room. Remember, she had her thing up. So that was sweet. I was like, all right, at least he's shooting somebody. Yeah. But outside that, he had the whole Superman thing where it's like, who could he shoot? That's why when the third one came out, it like Sentinel's gonna be here. I'm like, there's somebody he can shoot. Then he died. I'm like,
because he should be able to be strategize with the team. They should have had more of that. Jean Grey, telepathically put me in people's minds.
Yeah, he should have been X-Men's Captain America.
Yeah.
There you go.
Couldn't say better. Say no more.
Yeah.
That would have been super. But they couldn't. I guess they couldn't see it.
I haven't seen Apocalypse though, so I know this is kind of outside of it. But is at least Cyclops shooting people in that one? Like,
I forgot.
Nobody does much of anything in that movie. No. Weirdly enough,
like I just want to give him his powers, man. You see really Wolverine healing every second. Like how many times did Wolverine get headshot in that movie?
They make sure to show. Yeah, like when he got shot right in the head by that police and just bullet popped right out. I remember watching X-Men 2 and then seeing at the end, seeing that Phoenix fly out, and we were talking about the hype going in the third.
Like in the ocean.
Yeah, like we were sitting here watching in the movie, and we're just like, "Oh, Phoenix! They're gonna do the Phoenix!" Like, we were geeked when they showed that up, and then
we knew it was coming.
Yeah, we saw the visor in the middle of the air, and it was floating. It's like, oh shit! The whole area is just supercharged with psychic energy. It just got
right. No, I don't understand. Like I was watching that movie. Like I know she's a psychic, but I don't know how her powers included like turning on the jet and then closing the bay. Like I don't understand how that made any sense. Like, I mean, I know that she could lift it, but like she turned it and started flying it. Like, hey, Jean, whatever. She's like Franklin Richards over there. Just do whatever she wants.
And that's the thing too. I just around that time, a lot of movies it was a cash grab for me. Right. This person's here, but we don't really know why. It's, like the whole thing. I thought it was pretty cool, like especially in X-Men 3, where she had that whole heat thing going on. The only person who can get to her is you, Wolverine.
Yeah, that was. And I didn't hate it, but I could see why my friends were upset by that. Like it was like, okay, really, the only person who can do anything about this is Wolverine.
The only person.
Did she have any other fire? Like. Was it like fire come out of her hands at one point? Or was she just standing there like her vicinity?
I think it was just the vicinity.
See, I was like, where's the actual fire, man? Like, I don't think she was flying. I think she was just standing there too.
Yeah,
like,
she was.
She had this, like the black eyes looking real like... what kind of version of Phoenix is this?
Yeah.
Is that leather?
Where's the gold sash with the green leotard with the Phoenix on the...
They missed out not making it cosmic, not bringing in the fact that the Phoenix is a force destroying other planets. Like, I know they didn't want to go too crazy with Shi'ar and all that stuff, but like...
They should have.
That
would have rounded it out.
Yeah.
In my mind. Not to mention they should have had her be a cool Phoenix.
Because what if that had been the third movie? Instead of like this meet and registration, it would have been like, remember when they had to go on trial for Jean Grey and had to go fight on the dark side of the moon? Like, that would have been a sweet movie.
X-Men in space. They got the ship, it doesn't.
That would have been kind of sweet to see instead of like, I don't know. I always felt X-Men have always thought too small at times, too focused on like grounded stuff. Like I know they want to be grounded, but too much like dealing with local issues, so to speak. Like it's all Brotherhood, Magneto. Like I think if they expanded and went cosmic or did some of the like even like the what is it? Is it the Warlocks? The people underground. Like Lady Deathstrike and her people. Like they just expanded who they dealt with a little bit. I think they would have been.
I agree with that because I think, like you said, the first movie was perfect for that type of movie. The second one, expanded a little bit, showed more, but the third one could have been that one where they're outside the mansion.
Right, exactly. Yeah. We're not outside. It's a good way to do it.
So this is what we're gonna. I want to go over a few things and we can wrap it up, guys.
All right.
Guys, how long have been on the air, man?
We're
first and foremost, I'd like to thank everybody for listening. Man.
Oh, definitely, man.
It's awesome, man. They can reach us at where now?
Ramen Room. At Facebook.
God damn.
I'm gonna smile like, wait a minute.
You can reach us at the Ramen Room. Facebook.
I feel like they should already be there if they're listening, right?
They should. They can email us their list, their personal favorites of the pre-Nolan, MCU movies. You can email us at theramaroom@gmail.com. Again, it's the Ramaroom where, Randall?
At gmail.com.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, I want to go over a few things in this list.
Mm-hmm.
I want to pick. We got a few. So we got 22. Give me a quick good thing and a quick bad thing. Starting with Randall.
All right. Blade. Good thing about Blade, I'd say at the time I thought his weaponry was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Whistler was a pretty cool guy. Deacon Frost. I think they did a good representation for him. For bad, some of the scenes in general were kind of like a lot of this is not holding up, but some of some of the scenes were just kind of a little hokey looking now, looking back. Plus, the whole thing with the doctor was kind of stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, that was kind of the main thrust of the movie, but she was kind of useless.
Right.
Blade.
I want to say Wesley Snipes. I thought he did a good job with the character.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know much about Blade until it came out.
Yeah, I didn't know going back to like what we were talking about, kind of the way they disguised the movies. I didn't realize that he was a comic book character until I saw it say like based on Marvel comics.
That was through who did that?
That was New Line, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's
See,
the movie. You know,
yeah.
Like, shit, they have blood and everything. The vampires look scary, especially in the first one. I remember the scene being outside, had the little umbrella, the sunblock going. He was just looking across the street.
Yeah.
Fucking, you just walk around the way you want to, huh?
I also love that for Wesley Snipes. It is nonsense. Some dudes like to upskate or ice skate uphill or something like that.
Yeah. Now, there's one thing we didn't talk about on this list, and we should have. But I think one of the best movies on this list that we have here that we did not talk about that needs to be acknowledged is Constantine.
I was curious what you thought, because I didn't see that. Well, I was curious what your thoughts were. I didn't get a chance to pick it up.
Get a chance
to check it out.
If you can, man. Try to watch it as soon as possible, man. Let me know how you feel. But Constantine is definitely up there.
I didn't like it at first, but I will say I did watch it maybe like a year or so ago, and it actually was really good. Like,
I love it. I mean,
so they get the mystic side of everything right, or what's
they get the whole nine. I mean, the chain smoking and everything.
Right? Yeah.
I thought it was
the cab driver.
Yeah, it was. He was beastie. Like you knew. He was a different type of beastie. Like, it's not Batman. You know what I mean? But I haven't seen, when it comes to Constantine, I haven't seen people do him wrong.
Right.
The show he had on Channel 4 wasn't bad. I just thought that the time slot that they had, I think DC kind of stretched themselves a little too thin.
Right.
Around that Supergirl, Constantine, CW.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it wasn't bad. The actor they got to play him was amazing. Even more spot on than Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, I do like him. Yeah,
but Keanu Reeves did a great job.
Yeah, I was gonna ask how you thought his Constantine.
Perfect. I mean, that was Constantine for me. For the rest of my life. Until this other guy came. I mean, so even like in the animated shorts they have, like with Vixen and stuff like that, he voices that. Of course he'll make, if they have him in there, he'll be the special appearance. But yeah, Constantine is definitely gonna be in my top. Out of this list, probably my top 3.
Yeah. Oh, really? Wow.
Mm-hmm. With that being said, V for Vendetta, we didn't talk about that.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys about that because I know people like the story, the comic it's based on. The actual movie I thought was actually only okay. I thought it was a little overrated.
Yeah, I thought I had a little bit of the overratedness.
Yeah, like I thought it was fine, but it wasn't. When people were talking, they were really hyping it up, like, "Oh, this movie's outstanding." Like, it was just the greatest thing, and it was
cool.
Yeah,
I thought it was just cool. I felt it. I could see. I mean, a lot of people got a lot of their, their anarchist feel now.
Yeah, they really did. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, but I didn't. I thought it there again. I thought it did great, but it didn't speak to me in volumes the way it did for a lot of people. But that doesn't mean it's bad neither.
Right.
I didn't know it was based off a comic either when I first watched it. I think the first act in the movie is great. Like, just the tension, the building of what's going on, her running from the cops and him just kicking ass. But then after that, it kind of slows down to a crawl because you're just waiting for that date to come and you're just like, all right. But yeah, I like the movie.
And then we got another one that we didn't really mention too much. But the Punisher. How'd you guys feel about that?
I'm sure. I don't know.
I didn't hate it. I thought it was good. I didn't.
It was two Punishers. They told two different stories.
Nah, the second Punisher was on point.
Yeah, that one was good. Yeah,
the first one. I liked it. I didn't care. I liked the beginning. I loved that they kept the origin story. Like his family died, and I really felt that. Like I knew he wanted his revenge, but for some reason, I don't read all the Punisher comics, but I feel like he got too nice. If that makes sense. Like I feel like he was like, man,
Punisher's he's usually pretty gruff. Like
I know he makes some friends, and I know they wanted to make him more human in some ways, but for me, I was just like, all right, these people got to go. But then he had a sweet scene when that dude came to kill him in his his house. So
So I mean, as far as Punisher goes, do you think that the movies in general was like just a man? Do you think like the characters who played Punisher in comparison to the character who plays Punisher in Daredevil on Netflix, which Punisher do you think is better portrayed?
I like the second movie Punisher.
Second movie better.
Yeah, that's the sense I get. I go show. I'm a little more familiar. I've said the second movie, but I'm more familiar just recently with the show, and I feel like the show maybe is a little. His role's a little stronger, like a little slightly better. I don't want to say better material, but it's a little better in the show, and I think they do a good job with it. But I could definitely see kind of a coin flip either way, either him or the second Punisher. Was it like Thomas Jane? I think his name was.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but he was brutal. Yeah, and I think the first one also that I heard it was John Travolta. He wasn't a good villain.
Yeah,
he wasn't a good villain at all.
Yeah, it was like. We have an extensive list. Please, guys, tell us, email us, say, hey, I think this is the best before Nolan, before MCU. I think this is the worst. Let us know. Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
How you felt about the bottom, that muddled middle, Fantastic Four, the first one. It was interesting because watching that, when they announced Chris Evans would be Captain America, I couldn't see it. Because I always saw Johnny, I was like, there's no way this dude could be.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't see it neither. I mean, the way there's so many other actors that you can pick, but you guys just want to stick with, like, same people. Like, I mean, Batman is like, the James Bond of comics, you know what I mean? Like, they'll give, like, a person 3 movies and let ride out, Right. I'm hopeful for the next Batman.
Yeah.
Whenever that decides to come out.
Okay, too.
But I think we agreed. Even when I remember we was all hanging out together when they said Robert Downey was going to be Iron Man. And I couldn't see it either. I'm like, crazy.
It was like, because at the time he was like kind of washed up a little bit. Like he wasn't anybody like huge at the time. He was, most people knew him for his alcohol problems and everything. And
Ally McBeal. Whatever.
He was in that movie, what was it? Pacific Thunder or something like that?
Tropic Thunder?
That
was after, though.
That was after.
That was after?
Yeah, it was after Iron Man.
Oh, well, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen.
I know. Inaccurate.
So,
let us know. And this is not an exclusive, because remember, we talked, there's no Hellboy on here.
Yeah. Hellboy was good.
Yeah.
I like both of them.
Yeah, I was going to ask. Yeah.
That was dope.
Yeah.
I like too. I mean, man, Hellboy was dope.
Yeah.
We had that on there. It is a comic. Yeah. So we have one there.
We did do have Daredevil. We went over a little bit. Michael, what'd you think of Michael Clark Duncan's Kingpin?
I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, at the time, I thought it was like I thought he was Kingpin. I mean, I really felt good about it. But then, when it comes to acting, when you look at Daredevil. The show, the Vincent D'Onofrio, whatever.
That's Punisher. That's not Punisher. That's Penguin.
Why you make me agree with you?
I mean, they met though, so
but he had that. Damn, that nigga own shit. Hold up. Yeah. But I mean, they're just doing a good job with that Netflix series anyway. I mean, what's it called? Comes out next month on the 17th, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Iron Fist.
So that's in 17 days, really.
Excited, man.
Yeah,
excited for that.
We're gonna speed through it.
Yeah,
we're definitely gonna speed through it. I'm probably speed through it and watch it again so we can give our take on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, now the next episode here at the Robert Room, they got a lot of stuff to talk about. We talked about all these Marvel movies because, well, guess what, guys?
I already know. Oh, huh? I thought we were gonna decide if we wanted to be in a League of Shadows or the Hand. Yeah. Who would you rather be?
I mean, you come back from the dead in the Hand. Apparently, that's good health benefits right there.
And I don't think they let you use the Lazarus Pit in League of Assassins or League of Shadows, man.
I'm going to the League of Shadows, man.
What?
Yeah, Batman was trained.
You want to get beat up by Batman?
He trained really well there. I mean, he was there. I mean, the hell's going on? Like, Ray Charles ain't no joke.
We got high quality alumni from the.
There you go, your alma mater, man. Are you going to be in the Hand?
Yeah, I think on the hand.
Stupid ass. I mean, the hand is like one step away from the foot. Damn, that really makes sense.
I know what I'm like.
Okay, that was good. That was really, that's really clever. I did myself on that one. I think that makes sense. I just thought ninjas were hand and feet. That makes a lot of sense. Rockwood is here at the Benny over here like, I'm gonna have to go to the League of Shadows.
it just sounds better now.
I know, right? They taking applications. They need to transfer.
I'll see what Green Arrow has to say. Or Marcus. I'm sure he'll know what's going on up in there. So, or Black Canary or White Canary, whatever.
White canary,
Yellow Canary,
just
canary. All the canaries, canary yellow. But yeah, what other group? I keep extending this show. People like, nigga.
I know. Well, you were saying next week. We got a lot of stuff next week.
Logan is coming out Friday. Check it out. No, by the time you guys hear this podcast, you probably would have already seen it by now. But Logan comes out.
It's huge.
That's gonna be a big deal.
Last time you see Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Yeah.
Last time, and
they're already making a new X-Men. I'm like, who they gonna get?
They already started. Oh man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's her name? Sansa Stark, or I don't know.
Oh yeah, Sophie Turner.
Yeah, she's already talking about she's they're in production right now.
Oh.
So it's gonna be pretty cool.
Hey,
we got
stick around for her.
Nintendo Switch would be out.
I'll say that's what you're ready for. Zelda Breath of the Wild, man.
Breath of the Wild, man. Breath of the Wild. What else? Here in the great city of Columbus, in the awesome state of Ohio, wink, wink, is the Arnold Classic this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, so I mean,
gonna get fit, man, this weekend.
Free supplements, man.
Apparently, hey, if you want to be in the League of Assassins, you got to be ready. You gotta be.
You go ahead and hang out with the hand, man.
You can't now. You ruin the hand, man. Nobody takes it seriously.
They gonna see Bebop and Rock standing over there like, hey, let me go.
Shot wasn't us.
That's why I ain't go to the foot. There's something wrong with feet, man. More about them hands. Put them hands on you guys. League of Shadow. Yeah. So yeah, man, we got a real packed show for you guys next show.
Yep.
Tune in, let us check us out, man. Hit us up. And Benny, he'll be back for that one as well. It's not every day that we get Benny here, but when he's here, he's greatly appreciated. So
very much
shouts out to Benny.
Yep.
Big man.
And we're gonna get our big homie Omar back here. Busy guy, but I know y'all missing him. So looking out for Omar.
Mm-hmm.
Omar. But that does it for me, man. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to thank everybody for listening. And last but not least, Benny, want to put some kind words out there? Apparently not.
Yeah.
All right, Randall, take us out, man.
Bye. I was like, we don't have an outro.
All right, then. Well, we're gonna see y'all guys later. Peace.